Workouts, are you using a mic or just your iPhone?
No, and I searched so hard to find a mic that was like a port, like a wireless mic that would work with the iPhone. Couldn't find one. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to be authentic and just be myself, and I don't care if the audio is perfect. I'm just going to shoot it with the iPhone, and it's fine. And what helps a lot with like the background noise is I'll add like a music track underneath it and really softly, because in iMovie you can actually drop a music track in there, and mess around with the sound of it, the volume of it, which is pretty awesome. So I recommend you guys play around with iMovie. But I do want to show you some tactics to do with editing your profile to really make that real estate that you get here actually work for you. I think it's super important, and
Yeah.
I don't want to skip over this part.
Okay, cool.
That's also going to help me talk to you a little bit more about the importance of things like emoji, line spacing, how to write your captions. So this stuff is all just like the most kind of like the nitty-gritty of what you need to know to really work inside of Instagram in the app. So you'll notice how on my profile, instead of it saying the Betty Rocker in bold under my picture, which if you guys look at some of your accounts, you may see as your name. That's what's going to show there by default. But you actually can change that to be anything you want. So this is my little demo account, and name is in the edit profile section. So what if I wanted to make that like the headline of my business, or like really let people know the concept of what I was all about? Like for Betty Rocker, for the Betty Rocker account, let's move this guy over, it's rocking health and fitness. So for Get More Time, it's like time saving strategies. Who knows? But that works, right? Now let's say we're done. Let's see, where does that show up? Right at the top. Okay, awesome, great. Now I want to add my website, obviously. I'll just pretend we have a website that's like www.getmoretime, there probably is this out there, .com. And then the bio. Okay, so what's the thing about the bio that's so freaking annoying is that you can't actually go line by line. What if I wanted to say something like, get more time? There's no enter key. Nowhere. I can't find the enter key. And if I hit next, it's just going to take me down the page. So what I do in this case, how I wrote my profile, which on the app itself looks, like line by line. There's nice, it's easy to read because your eye can go down it, and there's these cool emoji. So what I do is I go into like my note app. Let's see, where's my note app on here? I don't remember where I put it. You guys see it? It's that little yellow notepad. Oh, there it is. Notes.
There
How
it is.
about that? Okay, new. So, notes. Now, you guys see down here I have this little smiley face guy, right? And smiley face guy lets me open up my emoji keyboard. And if anyone here who has an iPhone doesn't know how to get the emoji keyboard on your phone, you're just going to go to Settings. You're going to go to, where's General? General. You're going to go to Keyboards. And mine says it has two, but I'm going to click on it anyway, and I'm going to go to Add New Keyboard, and then I would go down and I would find emoji. Emoji's going to be in there. I have Bitmoji now, which is pretty fun. I use that for texting. You don't need that for Instagram. But once you have added emoji, it will then show up in your keypad when you're typing anything. So where are we? We're back in the Note app. Now, I want to actually talk about getting more time, so I'm going to scroll through my emoji until I find something that looks like a watch or a clock or something cool like that, and I'm going to go line by line. There we go. There we go. I'm going to say save time. Then I'm going to do another one that's like a picture of, I don't know, a sailboat and enjoy life. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to do be awesome. I'm real creative today. Okay, so and then I'm also going to do another ninja thing, which I want you guys to really think about doing. I'm going to go to all the way to the end where there's a bunch of really great symbols, and I'm going to point an arrow because what's going to show up underneath this is my link to my website. So I'm going to say time saving cheat sheet. Cheat sheet. Where did that go? The arrow will show up in your most recently used section. Okay, now I'm just going to grab this. I'm going to select all, copy, Now I'm going to go back to my Instagram account. Edit profile. Bio. I'm going to paste that. Done. Let's see how that looks. Oh, how cool is that? Now the user lands here and sees what I'm all about, how they can get more time.
And you know that these people are visual people, right? They're on Instagram, so this is a great way to, use these emojis to stick out and really highlight your copy.
This is also a reason why you want a very mobile optimized site, because if you're sending traffic to your blog, you better and you're sending it with Instagram, they are going to click on it and go to your blog. So you guys can see the bettyrocker.com/best of. When we click that, it goes straight to my website, just the main page. But what you actually don't see, you see there's a UTM code. I'm actually running this through my Wicked Reporting app to track how many people are coming from Instagram, which is super important because I need to know who's coming from Instagram, right? And here we go. Here's the site. Boom. And it's very mobile friendly. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I worked really hard on this thing. So that's what's going on, and that's how all that stuff works. Now, when you're writing a post, let's do a post together on Get More Times profile together, okay? Let's go ahead and use this really cool image we just stole from this guy. Don't settle for less when you deserve the best. I'm going to position it so I like it. I'm going to hit next. I'm not going to use any filters because that's silly. Then I'm going to write my caption, and I'm going to say, you deserve more time with, I can't type on this phone, with people you love. And I'm going to hit enter. Because, and one thing, sometimes you won't know where the enter key is on Instagram. All you have to do is hit the 1, 2, 3 key, and it'll show up for you, okay? In the ABC field, it won't show up. And then one ninja tip that I would like to give you is that if you want to really make it really readable, just use a symbol to like make a dividing line and then go down the page that way, right? So I'm just going to say some silly stuff. Mom. Brother. I don't know.
Yeah, I always noticed, and you guys should definitely check out Bree's posts, because the way that you use the emojis and you do the line breaks, it makes it really easy to read the recipes or the workouts or know that you're actually getting step by step. Bree's her Instagram posts are actually really good pieces of content. So we talk about giving value first to people that are getting used to your brand and getting to know you. And, Bree's posts are recipes or step-by-step workouts. She's not leaving them hanging and giving lots of good information. People take action and it works, and then they go back to buy.
Yeah, I think
yes.
We always talk about, like, with blog posts and stuff, making things consumable and using formatting and line breaks, and I love how you're setting this up so that it looks really
looks really good.
Yeah, and
right.
It stands out with all the way you've organized it.
What I did here too, guys, is something that's really ninja that I want you all to observe. If you think about your user. They are scrolling through their Instagram feed, and they are seeing everyone that they follow at the same time. They do not see your clickable link to your website unless they are in your profile. So tag yourself in your post so that they can easily click a link straight to your profile to get your profile link to your website. That's what I just did here. And then use hashtags like you use spices and seasonings. Don't be the desperate person who has like 50 bazillion hashtags at the bottom of their post. Add that to your caption. Add that to your comment section. When someone adds a hashtag on your post in the comments, it doesn't show up in the hashtag feed. The only way that your post will show up in a hashtag feed is when you yourself, as the user, have added the hashtag to that post. People don't know this. We just talk in hashtag these days, right? So like, oh, hashtag this, hashtag that. And they'll come on your feed and make a comment and say hashtag something, but it doesn't make your picture show up in that hashtag feed. The only way that your picture shows up in the hashtag feed is when you yourself have hashtagged it. So use it sparingly. Use it for fun. Use it for pop. A lot of the times, I'll create a hashtag around something that I think my people, it will make them feel good, right? So this one, for example, Betty Rocker loves you, happy, healthy, and the Betty Rocker, that's just 3. Like, I like to tell people that I love them all the freaking time, especially with like this food stuff, because it just like, and my fans use that hashtag feed now all the time themselves, which is really fun. So people, like, think of your hashtag feed, like we talked about earlier, as the campfire that you get your tribe to sit around that's all about your brand.
Yeah, very smart.
So I'm done with this, and now Instagram recently, you can tag people. Say I wanted to tag someone, this will show up in their photos. So say, does DM have an Instagram?
We do have an Instagram.
Let's tag you. We'll remove this shortly. But
All
digital,
right.
what is it?
Digital MKTR.
There they are. So I'm going to tag them. Now, I'm also going to add a location. Now, what I used to be able to do is actually type in something like this, link to profile in website, but Instagram has defeated me now. You can no longer create your own custom location. They don't like the fact that us marketers are smart, and we're adding that like piece of real estate to our posts. Case in point, what I'm talking about, I think, did I do it on this one? I don't think, when did they update this? It was not very long ago. It really pissed me off. Sorry, but I was like, damn it. Like, because this was so awesome. It was like, link to website and profile, like right there. And so while someone's scrolling through the feed, they actually would be like, oh, I could just click her name right there, right? Like, boom. Darn it. Now, so you can't do that now. But you can still participate in the feed. Okay, so now we're just going to click share. That's going to go up on this, like, you know, demo feed. And what's cool about this, if I've tagged someone, people who are seeing that can go right to that person's feed. And I can also click this little, did you guys see what button I clicked? The one on the far right, the little guy image. I'm holding my finger on it. Now, DM has the ability to actually look at the picture that they've seen, and they can remove themselves from that. They can remove, if they don't want to be tagged by this person, because dumb people do this all the time. Sorry, not dumb, but it's really obnoxious when I get like a photo of me that it's like people do this on Facebook too, and it's just like someone trying to sell a product and using my feed. They're tagging me in the photo so it shows up in my personal pictures feed. That's not what that's for. I want my fans and followers posting their pictures of food so I can engage with them more. I'm not here for you to just piggyback on and get free marketing from my followers. But you have control over eliminating people who have tagged you. So let's see. You saw we can tag other accounts. Instagram now has this cool feature where you can actually go in and edit this post, which is awesome. So I can go and add more to it, or maybe I typed your @tag name wrong. I'm going to tag @digital is it MK?
MKTR.
Okay, so I'm going to be like done with that, and then @digital marketer shows up there. So say you're doing a feature of another account, or say we wanted to feature @Success Blueprint, I might be like, oh, you know, this would have been a little bit more effective if I had actually said, you deserve more time with the people you love. Check out @Success, what's their Success Blueprint, however you spell their name. Blueprint. This is how you properly credit someone. I can't even spell, I'm sorry. Whew, fat fingers. Success Blueprint for more awesome tips. And that brings me to a really great point. If you actually had reached out to Success Blueprint and asked them if they'd like to maybe do a post for post or shout out for shout out with you, you can do that using this cool app called Kik. And a lot of I don't know if you guys noticed, but some of the, see, these guys have a Kik. Kick, we bring success. Okay, great. That means they probably are doing shout out for shout outs all the time. So shout out for shout out is when you post somebody else's image on your feed and they post back. Paid shout outs happen when you have less followers than they do usually, and they want money for doing that post for you in their very big feed. This is a double-edged sword. A lot of the times these people just get bombarded. People who are following these accounts get bombarded with so many shout out for shout outs that the quality of the followers you get from something like that is total crap.
Right.
And there is no rules in this Instagram marketplace. There is no there's no ClickBank. There's no JV like partners.
Right.
There's your word and their word, and they do it or they don't do it,
Right.
and they can't guarantee like anything. So
Right. Hey, Bree, just a few questions too, if that's fine, not to
please.
get you off
I
track.
just talk about this all day.
No,
So.
it's great, and that's why you're good at it, because you like it. So just like some simple stuff. If someone was just starting an account, and I know there isn't, necessarily a rule book to this, but how often would you post, and how would you get in front of your audience? Is most of that done through hashtags and tagging and things like that?
Yes, the hashtags are super important. It's also important that you go follow other people in the niche that you're in. Go find them and follow them and join the conversation. Post in their feed.
Smart.
Yeah, so that other people see you. And if you have an existing list or you have an existing blog, tell your current followers and fans and your other social media that you have an Instagram. Maybe run a fun contest or a 3-day challenge that they can only participate in on Instagram to get them to come to follow your Instagram. And that will really help grow you. If you were just starting out with Instagram and you were new to it, I would recommend, I posted once a day. That was always my goal. Every day was to do a really quality post once a day. Many people
I think quality is much more important than quantity.
I'm also repurposing my Instagram content across my other social media platforms. I make it into a Pinterest post a lot of the times. I use those pictures for blog posts. I use them on Facebook, and I don't auto post to Facebook from Instagram because it's kind of annoying when you see a Facebook post that has all these @ symbols and hashtags that don't really speak to you in the Facebook marketplace. You have to just think of all the different social media platforms as different like accents or dialects of the English language. It's far more effective to speak to someone in an accent that they understand, even though it's subtle. They're still going to understand you. They're just more inclined to have a deeper rapport with you if you're speaking in the same accent as them when you're speaking English, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
That's why I think it's really important to not just randomly have everything that you post on Instagram get posted on Twitter, get posted on Facebook. I think take the time to just use the same content, just write it for that platform.
Yeah. That's really good. I love that dialect analogy there. I mean, it sounds like with Instagram, you're using so many hashtags that it would look crazy in Facebook.
It looks dumb, yeah. But like I told you guys, don't put all your hashtags. So in the beginning, I want you to use a bunch of different hashtags so that you show up in a bunch of different feeds. But don't just put them at the bottom of your post. Go ahead and write a comment in your own post and hashtag get more time, hashtag all these, because not everyone will see this and it won't matter, but you'll still show up in those hashtag feeds because you posted it on your own picture, okay? So I could have just wrote like 20 different hashtags for this. There is, what is this thing called? I was using it back in the beginning. It's for Instagram. It helps you sort of find, why isn't this in my notes, Russ?
You didn't talk about it in the last webinar.
No, I did. I did talk about it, but I just really briefly. It's it's got a weird name. That's why I'll post it to you guys. It's just something that you can use online to look up the most popular hashtag. It's just like a regular. Okay, let's see if I can just Instagram online app for tracking your stats. Iconosquare. Here it is. Iconosquare. Okay, I have an account in Iconosquare, and I recommend you get one too. So if we sign in with our Instagram account, what you can do in Iconosquare is you can actually see some really cool stats, like how many likes you've received, how many followers. You can see engagement. You can see optimization. Tag, here's what I really want you guys to see, tag impact. These are the top tags on Instagram, okay? And you can see which ones that you've used that have had the most impact. Like the ones that are bigger are going to be the ones that the more people, look how the Betty Rocker is getting bigger and bigger. Life, iPhone only, repost. These are the ones that I've used. Food porn, happy, sunset. Like there's just like really stuff like that's like so basic. These are the top tags on Instagram. So consider not always using the top tags on Instagram. Use a couple of them, like seasoning, because they're going to be so saturated. Those hashtags
Right.
will be so saturated.
And think about it like you do targeting, for traffic. It's where is your market really hanging out, not just probably not hashtag fitness, that might be too big.
Throwback Thursday, TBT.
Right, Throwback Thursday, that's
Awesome.
probably not going to be your market really, Bree.
No, but I really think, I do remember when I was first starting out, I remember laying in bed being addicted to my app, just going through the hashtag feeds and like following all these random threads. I really recommend you just get really familiar and dig in deep with the app and play with it and just get curious and see what you're interested in following for your brand and what you're sort of like finding, and then just take screenshots, take notes, write down the hashtags that you think, have like a document where you're just writing down hashtags that you've found really great content in and that you want to use yourself, because that will really help build your following. But I will tell you guys, I want to just be really candid, I feel like a lot of why I grew my Instagram without having to do a lot of shout-out for shout-out stuff was because I was an early adapter and I just had a really unique content and I talked to people in a unique way. And I also was building an actual marketing platform around Instagram, so I had something for them to do outside of Instagram. If I were starting now, and I had like I would use the assets that I had to help boost my Instagram as it was growing. So like what I told you before, email your list about your Instagram, or post it on your Facebook account. If you have, I don't care how many followers you have. If you do something cool on Instagram and people are into you, the people who have Instagram and like it are going to follow you, and they're going to tell their friends too. So definitely do that stuff. I did want to tell you guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, that's a great point. I mean, something that internally we've been talking about a lot is using other media assets to grow new ones, right? So
Yes,
if you're gonna,
super cool.
if you've got a Facebook page, use it to grow your Instagram account. If you've got a Twitter account, use it to grow your Facebook account. If you've got, it's the same that what we've done with the podcast that Molly has started and that you were on, Bree, and is used other assets to help build the podcasts, and just grow these new media assets. So, and if you're starting from scratch, I think, what would you recommend people do if they're just starting flat out? They don't have any media assets at all.
I would say if you don't have any media assets at all, then you're going to need to do the work and spend the time digging in here and doing exactly what I told you. I mean, there is no shortcut. You need to build it. And if this app speaks to you and you resonate with some of the things I've said, there's a good chance you're going to be successful with it. And if it doesn't, pursue something else. There's so many different opportunities in social media right now to explore. Don't feel like you have to do all of them. I started with one thing, and I have grown around it. Sorry, Molly, you had a point, I'm sure.
No, I just said inconsistency. This is an organic traffic strategy. It's not something that's just going to, boom overnight.
Yep.
But with consistency and branding and doing exactly what Bree has just talked about, you can not only generate traffic, but you're building a tribe and a following.
Yes. I wanted to point out to you guys, Success Blueprint is doing this thing right now where they're growing their Instagram and they're using it to leverage their Facebook fan page. Super smart.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what you can see
smart.
in their feed. And I see this all the time. I also see a really cool strategy where a lot of Instagrammers will take a screenshot of what they just posted on their Twitter account, and then their fans will want to go follow their Twitter account because they say super cool, smart things on their
Just
Twitter.
moving people around.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to forget, I don't want to drop the point of the Kick account because I know you guys will want to know how you can kick other accounts. You You can send direct messages on Instagram easily now. You could send these guys a direct message if you wanted to talk to them about doing a shout out for shout out. You just go here to direct, then you'd write their name here in this thing, Success Blueprint. There they are. And then we'd write them a little message. Hey guys, just this is get more time. I was wondering if you'd like to do, or how much do you charge for a shout out in your feed? How long? Do you want to do a shout out for shout out? Those are like a lot of people will tell you like they'll do a shout out for shout out if you have around the same number of followers, but you pay for it if you don't. And this isn't a hard and fast rule, like I said. But so you can direct message them, or you can use the Kik app, which they are telling you about right here. And Kik is just, it's sort of like a, I don't know if I've even logged into this right now. I'm not. But Kik is an app that you would get, and then you can you can add people to it. It's like WhatsApp or some of those ones that let you talk to other people internationally without having to have their phone number. So Kik is sort of the one that's been adopted by the Instagram community, and that's why it'll say right in their feed, Kik. That's their Kik name, so you can direct message them on that app if you want to ask them about like a paid shout out or get business information, for example. You'll see this in a lot of different feeds, so it's just something to look for, and that will help you.
Awesome. Russ, do we have any questions you guys see?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bree, this has been really great so far.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a ton of questions in here. So a lot of people asking when you went through the apps, if you could just like pull those up so that I know people were trying to take screenshots of.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Here's the photography one. And Mystic I didn't talk about, but go ahead and download it and check it out. It's super fun. Instacollage is one that lets you make like different layouts of images, and you can also take an image that you've taken just with your camera that maybe isn't in a square, and you can square size it to sort of check to make sure you're going to like it on Instagram, because Instagram's going to put you into the 300 by 300 size. Snapseed, I showed you, that's one is really worth exploring. When Snapseed first came out, it was a $5 app. Google bought it because it's so badass, and now it's free. So you can download Snapseed, and you'd never find that one. It's weird because it's Snapseed. I mean, it's not like best photo editing app in the world, right? It doesn't say that in the marketplace. Title Effects is one I use. Instacollage will give you plenty of captions you can put on there, but I just think Title Effects is more badass. And really think about branding your account with a couple specific fonts. I've got like 2 that I use over and over and over, and
Yep.
people always know that that's my stuff, right? So do that. So I've left this up for a bit. Now I'm going to show you the video. Vimeo I just use because if I want to log into my Vimeo account and look at videos. Pick, Play, Post is really the one I want you guys to get, and iMovie, which we went over briefly. You guys really, with iMovie, it's just get in there and play with it. You're going to learn how to use it so quickly. It's such an intuitive app. Tilt Shift Video will actually allow you to add a filter to your video. So say you shot a video and it was a little dark and you wanted to brighten it up a bit, it'll give you some of the same image overlay options as like one of these guys that I was showing you, like Snapseed. Not as extensive, but it's pretty dope if you just want to like throw a filter over a quick clip that you're going to put on Instagram. Obviously you know what Kik is. Phonic, I don't use it. My buddy James Schramm coached me that, but I didn't ever really need it. Instadown, I told you guys about how you can download. I don't know if that app is even still active. When I opened it, it auto-opened up in the store. But really what you want really is just an app that lets you download videos to your phone from Instagram. So just look for something like that. And Google is your friend. Read reviews. If you're wanting to post Instagram from a third-party app, I don't really recommend that very often. I think post to your phone as much as possible. There was a period of time where Instagram was shutting down accounts all over the place because of spam complaints and because of like suspicious activity, and one of the triggers was posting from a third-party app because they couldn't verify that it was you. So I'm not really sure whether or not you can, I don't necessarily recommend going that route when it comes to posting, but other questions?
So what about when you let's say you're going to post 10 times, how many of those are going to be your own content and how many of those are going to be stuff you curated from other people?
I almost never post other people's stuff. I'm very exclusive. I'm only really posting my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
It really depends on you. And if you're doing an account that's all curated, that's really cool and awesome. So it's really just you can just sort of like let that strategy build on its own.
well, do you do anything where you're sort of, I always call it digital ass kissing, right? Where you're like, hey, this other account could really really help kind of move the needle for me. Uh, do you do any of that? Like, where you,
Absolutely, I give a lot of love and credit. I honestly like because I don't really do shout out for shout out type stuff. I just naturally post about other people's stuff that I love. I actually got there's a protein powder company that I just like fell in love with. I found them and I started just randomly posting about them. It turns out they have an Instagram account and they reached out to me and invited me to promote their protein powder and wanted to make me an affiliate and all that stuff. And I don't do a ton of affiliate marketing, but here's the example. I just started drinking this protein powder. I've never done really well with it, but I really love this and I'm giving them really great information about why I use this protein powder. And I'm just naturally talking about things I love and giving people credit. So that's sort of like, the deal with that.
cool. So a lot of people saying like, how many hashtags are acceptable? Like, I mean,
How many?
Yeah.
It's not, there's no rules, guys. Like, there's no rules. I'm just telling you, like, an elegant solution to not overdoing it with the hashtags is adding them to your comments.
Right.
Right? So, like, you don't look like you're desperately trying to get followers by, like, posting a ton of hashtags in your
Just kind of,
post.
spamming
Yeah.
up the end of your post with a bunch of hashtags so you can go, that you don't want to be doing that. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
Right.
guys, and if you do your research and figure out where your market's hanging out, which hashtags, if you pick 3 good ones, and they're really targeted, that's better than 30 that suck. So think about it like that too.
is there any way to manage multiple accounts? There's like 3 or 4 people in here. Like, it's a pain in the butt, I guess, to switch accounts because
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not like Instagram God. I can't just tell them that like you need. I mean, honestly, I do have multiple accounts. I have a couple different accounts, and I just log into them from the phone. And I also have multiple phones. I mean, I take this seriously, and I'm managing and running a lot of different stuff with. I have different phones and different apps because this is what I do, and this is my business, how I built it. But I mean, I don't.
A lot
I
of
mean,
work.
it is work. That's like, but building an organic following. It takes old-fashioned hard work. So I mean, I'm going to be tough love Betty Rocker right now and tell you guys that like there's not like a shortcut. There is no shortcut to this for really good
Absolutely.
organic traffic. And you can see how much work goes into the pictures, how much work goes into the physique that I'm trying to build and the food. So if you have a great product, you have to do the work.
And guys, Instagram is a big platform. There are people on this platform, so it's worth the work if you think that your market's there.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Is there an app to find top Instagrammers in specific markets?
Let's see. How about Google? Top Instagram accounts in health and fitness. I wonder if that will give us any clues. How about top Instagram accounts? I mean, I just think that, yeah, I mean, there isn't like a specific shortcut for this. Like, you could go and look through the hashtag feed and try to find out, like, real estate or fitness. And then this is what I was saying about getting curious, right? So we go to motivation, and like maybe you're going to find, so I would look in the top posts section in the hashtag feed because that's going to give you the one that's got the most likes, and it stands to reason that top most liked is going to have a lot of followers, right? So you can totally go in here and find some really great accounts to follow being a ninja using the hashtag feed and looking in the top posts section. Let's do that for like real estate. Is that helpful?
Yeah, for sure. So Erica says, what do you think about contest threads where multiple accounts sponsor a contest and make followers follow all the people in order to win?
I think it's great. do it. Try it out. But also try to be, oh man, how do I explain this the best way? You don't want to make your Instagram account look salesy or like make people do too much work to enjoy it, because it has to be really enjoyable and fun. For them. So I'm sorry, you guys, my cleaning ladies showed up really early and they're like banging on my door. So I've been slightly distracted for the past 5 minutes. So I thought I would just tell you I'm if I sound annoyed at all, it's definitely not at you.
Oh, you're totally fine.
Why? Oh my gosh. But we're going a little over time, so I have time for like 5 more minutes. But I'm so love talking about this stuff. So
yeah, Bree, this has been so awesome, and you're such a good example of how to build a following. So.
Oh, thanks so much. I mean, it is really just putting the time in. Like that's the number one. That's really the number one thing. So, I'm sorry. There was a question that I was just starting to answer, and I got distracted by all the texts they're sending me right now. What was the last question, so I can make sure I thoroughly answer it?
I don't remember.
I think you answered it. It was the one about contests.
Yeah, you used
contests. Yeah, like they're great. And I did a contest before. I usually don't tell people what to do. I usually just make it more of an invitation, right? So must follow these people, must like this account. If anything, I must add my hashtag to your picture. And then I will then you are a participant in the contest, or you must @tag me, so that's a really smart strategy too, by the way. So if you're having a contest and you want everyone that's participating in the contest to use your @tag on their picture, all their friends who are following them are going to see your @tag and get curious and probably come check out your account. So those are really targeted eyeballs that you want on your account. So that's an awesome strategy, whoever asked that. And just try not to make them jump through too many hoops. Try to make it so it's still fun and not too challenging for them to participate in your stuff.
Bree, Amanda says, thank you for all the great info on organic ways to build Instagram followings.
Yeah, you're a real inspiration, guys. If you got something out of this one, tell Bree thank you in the comments section, and let her know that you appreciate her taking so much time with us today.
Yes, but Bree did not have to do this. She doesn't get anything out of this. This was out of the kindness of her heart. So we really, really appreciate it. Bree, I added you to our DM Engage Facebook group. Don't feel like you have to stay, but if you guys enjoyed this, hop in the group and tag Betty Rocker and tell her thank you, because this is, something that, we don't have a lot of information on, so we bring in the best.
Yep.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah, lots of thank yous. Everyone's saying it's fabulous, and
I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
I love talking about this stuff, and I think that the number one way to stay motivated in life with anything is to share what you know with other people. That's
Absolutely.
my secret with why. That's really why I'm Betty Rocker, I think.
Yeah.
I just want to stay motivated myself. I want to be as good as I can be, and I love business stuff, and I'm very much self-taught when it comes to marketing. And I just want to say publicly how much I appreciate Digital Marketer and how much I've learned over the last 3 years since I've started my business, from coming to Traffic Conversions and being a part of the community and learning the strategies. I've learned from a lot of people, but Digital Marketer has been a mainstay for me and just offers so much value in every post and everything you do. And I felt really grateful to have an opportunity to contribute back to this community that has given me so many great ideas. I'm definitely a pioneer and do things my own way, but I couldn't do it without that kind of guidance. So thank you guys.
Bree,
that's awesome.
That means a lot. And, of course, someone's saying @Betty Rocker. I think it's @the Betty Rocker, but that was funny.
The Betty Rocker.
That was funny, Carissa. Speaking to you in Instagram language. You rock. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Oh, guys, so my pleasure. And someone wasn't happy, but that's probably because this may not resonate with you. And if this wasn't a webinar that was helpful for you, there's probably a better social media for you that would be awesome, because there's so many different ways to be a great marketer. It's not about one specific thing. There's so many different ways to do it. So
absolutely.
Keep looking for your sweet spot.
Yes.
Absolutely. We'll look forward to seeing you at next year's Traffic and Conversion Summit.
Yeah, Bree, you'll be at TNT this year, right?
I will be, and I just want to say one really cool thing about TNC, one more thing, and about my business and about the power of Instagram. When I first came to my very first TNC, I came on someone's guest pass, and it was $200 that I paid because I couldn't afford the full ticket, and I was just barely starting. It was like the second month that my book had been live, and I didn't know if I was going to actually make it. I thought the first month was a fluke, and so I came to that first Traffic and Conversions on that ticket, and this year I'm coming VIP, and I'm paying it for it myself, and I'm bringing one of my employees. So to me, that's like a really big success story of the power of what you can do when you put the work in, and like you really love what love your products, love your brand, love your audience, and you just don't give up. Keep going.
Awesome, Bree.
All right,
Okay.
thanks everybody for joining us, and
Yes.
we'll see you next
Thanks,
week
guys.
on
All
Office
right.
Hours.